Hi, Melanie.
Oh, you were
You
away
no, away Friday in a week. Yeah, the
last
21st I fly to Dubai
last week.
next week. Oh, I was in St Andrews, but that not I was I was on the call last Thursday. I haven't been away particularly since then.
I thought you were in Dubai last week.
Oh, that would have been nice. Oh, I'd feel so much more relaxed if that was the case. Never mind. No, no, I'm preparing for the GCMA talk on Monday, which I got really far along with last weekend. And I'm like, that's great. I'll finish it during the week because, it's not going to be that busy. I don't even know why I had that conversation with myself. And
Yeah.
have I been able to touch it since Sunday? No,
Bit like me
no,
trying to do my board report. I have actually got it done now, but it was like, oh yeah, I can finish that off. Oh no.
no,
It's
no.
today as well. I've been like, well, I've got quite a few things to do, but I've now got even more things to do.
Yes, exactly. And I was at a marketing meeting yesterday. So I'm in a marketing group I've been in since 2016. And we meet monthly to go through what the business challenge is. We're all business owners. And yesterday was all about AI. So it's like, okay, so now I have a huge
Yeah.
list of to make the website AI friendly because they deal with it differently. It's not like Google searches and looking at your Google My Business profile and making sure your services are on it because when people ask ChatGPT, I need an HR service provider or I need a good golf club near me, it will then go, okay, who says they're a good golf club? Good golf club for what? And then it's having that information in the right format on your website so that the AI bots find it, which are different to the Google bots. So, yeah. So good fun. So I've got a whole long list. I've already hired somebody else, freelancer to do my Google My Business profile for me. Because it's like he had an evaluation thing. I mean, he's part of our group as well, but evaluation thing, he's like, you are mediocre. And I'm like, yes, that's great. And he's like, well, it's not that great. It's like, well, he doesn't say awful. It's like, yeah, he didn't say, yeah, there isn't an awful. I think mediocre is the lowest, to be honest. But I'll take mediocre. That's fine. That's good. Right. Have either of you two got questions today?
I'm having a I hate staff day. No, I can't think of anything specific.
Okay. What I would say is just a little bit frustrating, not that with you three, but making sure you give new people contracts and you get them signed. And if they don't sign them, they don't start work, or they sit in the boardroom until they have signed it, or they tell you exactly why they're not signing it, so we can deal with that. Because I've got quite a few now from coming from clients who've been with us for a decade, so they've got no excuse saying, "Oh yeah, we didn't actually get around to doing a contract, or we gave it to them, but they didn't come back to us, and we just sort of left it." It's like, oh, gosh, like this is not actually that difficult, and that's what I was thinking originally. We'll see how it goes because I've got a new executive assistant starting at the beginning of December. Is that to maybe offer that, look, give us their private email address and the contract, and we will send it out by Adobe DocuSign because people are much more willing to do that electronically. Because if you send it by paper, they're like, oh, I've got to sit down and read it when I've got a quiet moment and did it. And you never have a quiet moment, do you? So it's like if it's just electronic, then you're much likely to get a signature. And it's a daily reminder from Adobe to them that they have to ignore. You're not doing that. So it's like, and you can then go in after a week and go, this is still not signed. So let's have a conversation. So that's a good way to do it. Um, what are we doing at the moment? Lots of settlement agreements. Yes. I'm going to say about the same number of settlement agreements. It just seems that quite a few come this week rather than spread over the month, to be honest. So there you go. Okay. So the new law, the Employment Rights Bill, which is still not 100% confirmed. And we will do a proper webinar on this once it actually is confirmed and all the consultations are over. The biggest things are the removal of the freedom to fire people in the first 2 years. The government is still adamant that that needs to be a 9 month minimum trial period. Okay, so and we still don't. Again, we don't know the details, which is why it is a bit like furlough. But it's probable that you are going to have got documentation in that 9 months. It's not going to be like a trial period now, or even an under 2 years period. You can't say, oh, they're just not right for the team. No, that is not good, not at all, because it's going to be a protection from day one with fewer hoops to jump through under 9 months. So what you need to have as part of your probation period is one, that the probation period already should be a minimum of 6 months, best practice. You need to get it up to 9 months. So that's 1 week's notice in the 9 month period. And you need to do, certainly in the first month and then probably monthly, you need to be doing review meetings. The review meetings with the new staff are stop doing whatever you shouldn't be doing, start doing this, and continue doing this. 15 minutes. That's all it'll take. You will then have it documented. It will be recorded on the phone, put it into AI. If you've got Firefly's app, which is the one we use, there's lots out there. There are others available. You can put it in straight away into the app, record it straight into the app, and then you've got your summary. You send that to the employee and say, here is the recording, the record of our thing. I'll arrange the training we arranged. You do the training, they sign off on the training, and then the next week, if they're still not doing it, you are now building up that record so that, one, the protected characteristics is brilliant, but two, you can then show, yes, we have paid attention, we have tried to train this person, we have repeatedly done the training, we've been paying attention, and they've still not responded. Therefore, we now can justify that they're going. It's just, I had somebody last week come to me and say they want to get rid of somebody who was 0 hours. I'm like, okay, why? Well, they're a bit work shy and they're just a bit rude. I'm like, well, how are they rude? Well, when we put out a request on WhatsApp saying who would like to work these hours, this shift, she doesn't reply as quickly as everybody else. I'm like, sorry, so and how quickly is quickly? Within 20 seconds, within 2 minutes, within 10 minutes, within 3 days? What is it that is so much slower? Oh, well, it's just slower than the others. I'm going to say that's not even though you could dismiss it, that's just a stupid reason to dismiss somebody. Oh, she doesn't reply as quickly. Given she's 0 hours and owes you nothing, if she doesn't reply quickly, then she doesn't get the shift. That's fine. That's her choice. She doesn't have to come back and say, oh, no, thank you so much for the opportunity. That's not the nature of a relationship. And it was pointing out to them that, I must admit, I was in a bit of a mood that day. How could you tell the difference? But I really was in a bit of a mood. And it's like, I'm like, have you ever spoken to her about that? No. And the work shy, I said, okay, what does that mean? Is she refusing to do work? What's from? Oh, well, last week when she was working on her college work instead of doing, well, not even instead of, while she was in on her shift, she was working on her college work. And I'm like, well, was that because it was quiet? Because how did she manage to do that? Or didn't her supervisor say something if it was busy? Didn't the supervisor? Oh, well, yeah, no, it was quiet. Well, then I don't. And you like, I did get a bit sarcastic. I'm like, did you just want her to be, as a 0 hours worker, going on TikTok and Instagram, and that would have been socially acceptable to you because she's a 0 hours worker? Or are you a bit upset that she's actually trying to improve herself by doing college work and doing something constructive? And that's when he said, I think I've reconsidered and we'll go back to this. I'm like, so that's lovely. Thank you so much. Come back to me next week when you've actually done some work on this rather than going, oh, I don't really like her. Yes. There you go. I'm doing my fight one person at a time. I will get there by the time I retire. Mel.
Yeah, can I just start on the probation then, or that 9 months? Is it likely that the contracts will change from 6 months to 9 months, or is it going to be?
No, we're going to change all of the templates to 9 months once that is confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah. And just one other thing on the induction meeting, it's one of the forms that I use with you. So you've got your induction meeting, end of month 1, end of month 3, end of month 5. Oh, are you going to tweak that to start, stop, continue? Can we add that in?
We can.
I love start, stop, continue. I did it yesterday, so I've just done a start, stop, continue and a change. So if we could, I can manually update it. But if you're going to do it across what you're sending out, then I'll wait for you to do it. Because I think even if we added that in at the end of month 1, at least it's a nudge then for the heads of department to be able to go, yeah, you need to, we're covering it off then.
Yes, exactly. No, we will be doing that once we've got that.
Once we know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, lovely.
That's good.
Thank you.
Good. The other thing was the sick pay. And what else? Sorry, no, there's one before that actually, which is possibly, it's not going to affect you on a day-to-day basis, but is coming into effect on the 1st of December this year, is that ACAS early conciliation, which is currently 6 weeks, start to finish-ish, is going to be increased to 12 weeks because they're so overwhelmed, they can't cope with the number coming through. So they're giving more time to get to you. What they're also saying, I heard yesterday, is that they are starting to send an email to the employer and saying, there's been a claim raised against you. You tell us in writing what you think that claim could be, and we'll let you know you're right. And you're like, no. Just tell us what they're saying and how much money they want. Just tell us. Just cut to the chase. You're wasting everybody's time here. If they say they want 500 quid, we'll probably just give them 500 quid. End of. Cot 3, done. Really easy for you to tick that off your list. You don't need to try and be coy and go, oh, well, let me just see if you know what it is. It's like, no, just tell me. It's like the apology. What are you actually apologizing for? I don't know. Whatever it takes to get you to be happy again, really. So that one's changing. So that actually increases the time for a tribunal claim from date of termination to being out of time to 6 months. So we were kind of working on 6 months, to be honest, because of delays. Now it's a minimum of 6 months plus potential delays. Okay. Yay, fun. And the other thing was the sick pay, which is probably going to come in from April next year, which is that everybody has day one right to sick pay. They don't have to work over the lower earnings limit. What's the matter, Mel? I can see you shaking your head there. And
why don't we just pay people not to come to work? It would be so much easier.
Yeah, Bagsy. I want that. Yeah. All the people on this call can have that straight away. No problem at all. Yes. And it would be so much easier if the government, of course, refunded SSP, but I mean, they're already spending too much money. So I'm not sure that I'll get through. But yeah, so you would pay them SSP, but if they earn under the lower earnings level, they get paid 80% of their normal weekly pay from day one. So there's no waiting 3 days, and then they get paid 80% of their pay. So if they get £20 a week, they get 80% of that. And don't make me do any maths on that, because I should say if you do £10 a week, they get £8. There you go. That's the easy one. So the main thing being that the sick pay thing actually discriminates against women and lower paid people, again, women. So actually this is good for the sisterhood. I'm just saying, even as a business owner, that might not be so great, but for the sisterhood, it's pretty good. Just saying. If we just stop paying white males, I think that would be a good compromise. That'd be fine. Good. Oh. Anyway, any pointer, have you got something slightly less actively aggressive to ask?
Yes, I do have a question, actually. This is a sort of situation I'm surprised that I'm in. So I have a 0 hours worker who went off on maternity and has never come back.
Yes.
Right? So she just sits in the background. Now, I know I can't say to her, do you want to leave or whatever, because you can't do that. So she just has to sit there. But she came to visit the other week, and turns out she's pregnant again. Now, although she's an employee, she hasn't worked since she had the last baby.
No.
I'm not supposed to do anything.
Yes, but it's more a formality, a teeny bit of paperwork, in as much as, because she's not worked for you, you would have to let her know at the appropriate time that you will not be paying her SMP, that she will be getting it from the job centre.
Right, because the thing is, I don't think she's even registered at the job centre, because she's still got a tiny baby, and I don't think she was, well...
No, she's not looking for jobs, sorry. The job centre pays it. It's nothing to do with being unemployed or anything.
Oh, right. So what do I have to write to her? Just tell her that I won't be paying you?
Well, you can't do it yet. And when is she due?
I think she's about 2 or 3 months pregnant, but she only told me in passing. She hasn't officially told me.
Okay, so you don't probably have to do anything. You just in as much as it's just you need to know that should she come to you and say, oh yeah, here's my MAP B1, if you could let me know when my maternity pay is starting, and it's like, no, you're not getting any maternity
Right. So if
pay.
she doesn't produce, let's say, because she came on a social visit and said, oh, well, she didn't need to say, we could see she's pregnant. Nothing's been mentioned. So if she hasn't officially said I'm pregnant, that means I don't officially do anything. I just leave things as they are.
I would, at this stage, I would wait to be informed and see what happens.
Right. And if she doesn't inform me and she goes ahead and has the baby, I just stay out of it.
Let's give it a couple more months. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So 2-3 months, because what I am slightly worried about, not that there's particular red flags, is that she then turned around and said, but Melanie saw that I was pregnant, so I didn't have to tell her. So actually she should have done something about it. So I will 2 to 3 months. So the MAP B1 comes at about 24 weeks now. So there's a good 3 months left. So I think it would be worth, if we put a date in the diary, to then go to her and say, I hope you're doing well. Wondered if we can see how, well, one, we can see if she's got in touch with you, and two, we can then go and ask her for the MAP B1 and see what happens. Because the point is there's no disadvantage to you asking, because you're not liable for the maternity pay.
Right. Okay, thank you. Another very brief one. I've got a guy who's on a visa. I'm not sponsoring him. He's working at the moment. His visa finishes in, I don't know, another year, just under. He has now said, would I consider sponsoring him going forward? I had a right hoo-ha with the last being a sponsor and what have you. Should I steer clear? I know it's a bit of an arbitrary question, but I mean, is it more headache than it's worth now with the way things are, and there's changes in that legislation, isn't there, for sponsored workers, etc.? I think there's a difference depending on which visa he has, but would I just be better to just say, no, I'm not doing that again?
It would be easier to say you're not doing that, but it then depends on whether you're going to be able to find out how good he is at his job to say, is it worth the effort? Because if he is good, we all know how difficult it is to find stuff. You missed Dawn's comment at the beginning of the video, Melanie, about how much she loves her colleagues so much. So it's that a little bit of that balancing act.
I wouldn't. He's fine. He's one of those things, one of those situations where I'm sure we've all got them, where they're not really any trouble and they're okay, but they're not. You know. You wouldn't cry if they went, but you're not bothered that they stay, sort of thing. So I mean, I could replace him essentially. I do have somebody in the wings, but it's whether I want the agitation of being tied into a visa sponsorship.
No, if I would say, like many things, if he's not like, oh my God, if I lost him, it would be really difficult. He's been brilliant. He's transformed the business. Yeah, it's worth it. If it's just like, well, yeah, he's okay, I wouldn't bother, because it is a lot of hassle.
No, that's what I thought. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Lovely. Good. Dawn, is there any of your lovely colleagues you'd like to share any of those situations with us?
No, I did have a chef that left, and she was on variable hours, and she thought she was accruing 2.33 days holiday per month, but she was on a variable hours, and so she thought she was due 4 days holiday when she left, but she was only due like 1.5. And I opened an email at the weekend where she said, excuse my language, F you, with a finger on the email.
Wow.
So I have vowed never again to open a work email at the weekend. So that's my learning from that.
Oh gosh, that is not good, is it?
She just wouldn't take no for an answer.
No,
they just didn't get it.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
But listen.
Such lovely people. Yes, that's why we keep sending them as quickly as possible. It's like, you're not happy. We think we've done everything right. Talk to ACAS, Early Conciliation. Then we don't have to talk to you directly. Thank you very much. Yes, and then the number of people who then are like, I'm going to get my legal team in touch with you. But you can afford a legal team? That's really quite impressive. Off you go then. That's fine. One of the ones we had this weekend was a chef, and they've got all the CCTV footage, who started drinking on duty, but not only drinking on duty, charging it to his colleagues' accounts on the till. And it's like, you know they're going to find that out really easy because they're not working today. So when they see a charge for Saturday, 7 o'clock, they're going to go, I didn't buy that. And then after, I was supposed to be working from sort of 4:30 till 11, at 7:30, then just went, yeah, I'm going home. And it's like, okay, so that is then gross misconduct because it's not even, you've got the drinking, that's bad enough, it's unauthorized, and then you've got the stealing. It's like, yeah, you're out here, mate. There is no comeback from this. So, but it just seemed to be not in reaction to anything. Nothing happened. There weren't any events. Nobody had been yelling at each other. It wasn't stressful on that evening, particularly. It was just a normal evening. And the guy just went, this is what I'm doing. It's just, okay, everybody's in a different movie. So, and we're there trying to understand it. A bit like some of the very intellectual movies where you have to interpret what that view of the sun going down means from behind a rock. And sometimes with employees, you have the same sort of thing. You're like, now, what did they get from doing that? I don't understand, because they could just come to us and ask for money and we would have probably given them money. So, yeah, there you go. All very interesting. Keeps us from getting bored. So that's good. I will be here next Thursday. I'm sorry, I need to issue you, obviously, with my holiday schedule so that there's no misunderstandings about which country I'm in when. I'm at the GCMA conference on Monday, and I will see Mel, hopefully, on Monday. So that's good. And then here on Thursday, and then in Dubai, and then a hip operation on the 3rd of December. So hip replacement, my left hip. So that's good. Got a definition of what it is, the problem. It's like, that's what it is. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, there's it's really clear on the x-ray, really clear. So having that done on the 3rd and probably around, but I wouldn't ask me any serious questions for a week while I'm on painkillers. I'd give it a week and then ask me again. So and then doing physio and everything.
Just come on the call in December just so that we can have a laugh at the questions or your responses to some of our questions while you're on liquid morphine would be very good. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. Good. Okay, well, have a lovely weekend. Like Dawn says, don't answer any questions, and I'll see you all next week. I'll see Mel on Monday. Thanks for watching. If you want a free peace of mind call with us to discuss your policies, handbook, and any burning staff issues in your business, click the link in the description below.